I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Huh. This home first that's highlighted right there, is that you guys? Or is that a different?
Yeah, it's not 14.
Oh, okay. I mean this green one. The first home first?
No.
Okay.
May I have your first name?
Dana Smith.
Can you spell it?
DANA
Mm-hmm.
SMITH.
Date of birth.
6578.
May I have your social?
198623084.
198.
623084.
The best contact number.
It would be 910 859 1043.
You can have a seat.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you working?
Yeah.
Okay. So about how much do you think you make a month?
It depends because I ask for at least 20 hours. But I get from 4 hours to sometimes 15, but like this week it's 10 hours. So I say basically 5 hours, you want to say?
So how much do you think you make a month?
I just moved to this one. 500 a month. Might not even be that.
Okay. Are you receiving food assistance?
Yes.
Okay, about how much you think you?
285.
Are you a veteran?
No.
Any disabling conditions?
I'm in between medical care, so I can't even really answer that right. I had breast cancer, which made me initially homeless in the first place.
Okay. Any health insurance?
Yes, WellCare from North Carolina. Medicaid, North Carolina.
Do you have any emergency contact?
I guess you can put my mom, Alice Peters. Ain't much help.
And a number for her?
610 505 6277.
Okay. And you're not enrolled in school or anything?
No. I stayed at Frontline on Monday, and then they said they were closed Tuesday. I was directed to New Life First on Monday, but they had took people in early, and so they didn't have any room. So then I was directed to Frontline Shelter, and I had did footwork at Solomon's Temple. I had applied, um, went to Salvation Army. I had called. I had went to Hope. They said they didn't have anything available. Hope Atlanta. So what exactly is open? Like when those shelters are closed? Because I've heard people say they had thousands of listings of places, but I got this.
Okay. Miss Dana, tell me a little bit about your situation.
I initially went homeless in January of 2022. Didn't know where to go. I was in Fayetteville, North Carolina. That was after I had government. I was given. I was approved from the government to have assistance. That was around COVID time.
Mm-hmm.
So June of 2021, I was approved. October, my landlord stated that he didn't get the money, the fundings from the government, and that I had to move out. He told me September he didn't never get the money. So
Okay.
back and forth initially. So
okay, hold one moment. Let me make sure I understand.
mm-hmm.
So January 2022,
Mm-hmm.
you lost your.
That's when the landlord decided that he said he couldn't sign on the lease anymore because he had to sell the house.
Okay.
This was after the whole him not getting paid by the government thing. That was October of 2021.
Okay, so October
of 2021.
What happened in October?
That's when I was evicted.
You were evicted October 2021.
He evicted me at the home, stating that he didn't get paid by the government.
Okay, evicted because.
But when I had called, we both had got the same information that I was approved. So he basically was going back and forth with them about not getting paid.
Okay, and then.
But I was back in my home less than 24 hours because I was approved. And, whatever it was, when I called the government up and whatnot, I was calling them the whole time when he told me that I had to move out. I said, how can I have to move out when I was approved and the government is supposed to be paying for it? I said, that doesn't have nothing to do with me, you not getting paid. I said, there's something going on in between where you need to get a hold of them. I was approved.
So you were evicted October 2021, and then
I was back in my home less than 24 hours because I had been on the phone all day with government bodies, and so I was able to get back into my home.
Oh.
So then after that, that's when he said that he's not able to sign back on the lease. He told me that in December that he's not able to sign back on. It was like,
okay,
yeah.
So
December of 2021. He said that he would have to sell the house or he was having some kind of financial issue. So I initially had to move out for sure January.
So after January 2022, where did you go?
I had tried, Fayetteville doesn't really have places. Salvation Army wasn't open at the time. So I had called a friend, or at least that's what I thought, in Pennsylvania. Because my family, they're not nobody to rely on.
Okay.
Dave was always living off of me. But anyway, I called her up. I said, I don't know what to do. I said, I was just evicted out of my home, and the kid's dad had already came and picked the boys up in North Carolina from a neighbor's house without my permission in October of 21 when we went through that eviction thing. So I said, the boys are already up there. I don't know what to do. I said, would you be able to, would I be able to come stay with you until whatever is figured out? And she said, yeah, you can come up. And so I got a Greyhound ticket to come up there.
In Pennsylvania.
Yeah, to Pennsylvania. And then she was calling, asking how I was doing the whole time. Checked how I was doing the whole time I was coming up there. Where my location was at. So I finally get all the way up there. I said, okay, I'm up here, Amelia, in Philly. And she says, oh, I'm sorry. My husband says that no one, that he doesn't think it's a good idea anybody come stay at my home, at our home. So then that's when I was pointed to the shelters. That's when I was introduced to the shelters. So I told them the same story. I even went to homelessness advocacy on Walnut Street to see about my kids being taken by my kid's dad, to see about getting legal help with that, and also the legal help of, me telling these shelters and these caseworkers about what was going on, and nothing. Like, all these people were getting vouchers and all kind of stuff for housing and whatnot, and they didn't help me out at all with none of that. Besides the gang stalking and stuff, because my kid's dad and my family are part of organizations. So I was going through harassment and stuff in the shelters, which is still happening now. And so I had went and slept on a bench, but I had reached out to some other lawyers and stuff like that. So I basically been waiting to see, getting some kind of answers about something. I went to child services and stuff like that because of, things that my kids were going through.
So after you in Pennsylvania, when did you move to Georgia?
Oh, I moved back to North Carolina to UNC first to get back to my doctors. That was August of 2024.
So you were in Pennsylvania.
August 30th, 2024.
So you were in Pennsylvania from 2022 to 2024.
Mm-hmm. With me going back and forth to the shelters and every last one of them caseworkers knowing everything. And I got paperwork of everything.
Moved back to North Carolina?
Yeah.
Okay. So how long were you in North Carolina?
I was in North Carolina up until I went from Raleigh, because I didn't get no help and was going through the same thing there, to Chapel Hill. Then Chapel Hill to Durham. Well, I was working in Durham. I never got a shelter in Durham. I was working in Durham. But it was the same thing. So I went to Wilmington, North Carolina. So I said, well, maybe I'll get some help here. And I said, I'll be by the beach. So I might as well be somewhere where at least I'm by the beach, at least enjoying something. So I went there. Wilmington, same thing happened there. So then that's when I came here. And that was December 19th.
2024?
25.
Oh, 25.
Yeah.
Okay. So December.
And then that's when I landed at Restoration House. I had just I was actually trying to go to Savannah, somewhere like, where nature was at, or, more nature like. But for whatever reason, I could only get a ticket to Atlanta. It wouldn't let me get a bus ticket to Savannah. So
Well, how long have you been living in Atlanta?
Since December of 2009. I mean, since December 19th of 2025. I just got here. I never even been to Atlanta before, but like at my job, In Wilmington, like various people that I ran into at the beach and at Marshall's where I worked at, customers was like, you know, you should try Atlanta. You should try and, see how it works out in Atlanta. And I was like, I don't really, I have family and stuff that, be down in these areas. So I wasn't really feeling Atlanta, but I wasn't getting nowhere. And I had talked to WellCare, North Carolina, my Medicaid insurance, and was asking them if they knew about anything because they're supposed to have social services or whatever with them, about Charlotte and different places for me to stay in North Carolina. But they said Charlotte was filled, which when I went to Charlotte before I went to Wilmington, the caseworker there, she told me to give her a call because I told her that I wasn't getting any help when I was there. She said, well, call her to, and
So, in the past 6 months, how many times have you went to the emergency room, taking the ambulance, or been hospitalized?
I've been to, first it was in Pennsylvania, when these expanders started moving around. I had went because I had got a housekeeping job and stuff.
How many times have you went to the emergency room,
Okay,
taking the ambulance, or been hospitalized in the last 6 months?
The last 6 months. Let me see. I only went to the ER. I haven't been hospitalized, so it was.
How many times have you went to the emergency room?
2.
How many have you never taken the ambulance?
No.
Okay. How many times you never been hospitalized?
No.
Okay. How many times have you used the crisis hotline, talked to the police, or went to jail? None.
I went to a prison in Lancaster County. That was back in '98, but I wasn't even supposed to be there, so I wasn't charged with
Have you
anything.
been attacked or beaten up since homeless?
No, just gang stalked and harassed
Have
at
you
each shelter.
tried to harm yourself or anyone else in the last year?
No.
Do you have anything legal going on right now?
I have no idea. I know that I had called child services about my kids. Nobody's getting back to me about any of that.
Does anybody force you to do anything you don't want to do?
No.
Do you have sex for money?
Ew, no.
Is there any,
I'm celibate. I haven't even had sex in 8 years.
do you owe the IRS money?
Might after this because of these people, my job not taking my taxes.
Are you currently is your homelessness in the way of a relationship, abusive relationship, friends or family?
Yeah. I'm being gang stalked.
Have you ever
I believe there's court proceedings going on behind my back that I don't know of.
That you are taking that you should not be taking, but you are taking?
No. I'm holistic. I don't take medication. I've been calling up Pennsylvania. I had went in there. I even went to the DA's office. I had called and asked for wellness checks on my kids and stuff. And I showed the DA pictures of my kids on social media where they were reaching out to me. And they even said it didn't look like things were right. But nobody did anything and nobody has gotten back to me about anything. I called initially in 2021. I had called everybody. I first called my enforcement officer at child support in Westchester, Pennsylvania, because she knew the kid's dad and she knew, what I was going through with him not paying and stuff like that. She knew legally what I was going through with him, but not paying child support and stuff and not being responsible. And then she was the one that told me. I called the schools and everything. I called everybody because they were trying not to bring them back. They had them for the summer before that happened. The summer of 2021, they had them. They said they were going to give me a break from, with me going through cancer and stuff. But it really wasn't a break because my kids helped me. They helped me a lot around the house and stuff like that. I couldn't even, I was denied Social Security when I couldn't even sweep a floor or drive my car. Couldn't lift nothing. Double mastectomy. I've been a nurse for 24 years. Might have been 3. September to... No, it's only been about 2. I have primary care in North Carolina, Aisha Hospital. I think it's only been once. Twice, Cape Fear. So how is that even possible that they're legally even able to do that without any cause of anything? Like right now, my kids, I'm not getting anything on their phone. Like I usually am able to, but that often happens whenever we get in contact. Like they're trying to keep us separated from each other. Now my kids, my one boy, my oldest son, wasn't even my kids' dad. My younger boy's dad. He didn't have no permission to even have. That was kidnapping right there. He took all 3 of them. Now his phone isn't working at all. He said first his phone wasn't. He said that his phone wasn't. He could only receive text messages. Now his phone's completely off. This is after him telling me and me voice him about what's been going on with my kids. My one son, my younger boy, the boy's his dad, he was ran off the side of the road. He said he was ran off the side of the road. The older one, that his phone's not working anymore. He said that his lug nuts and stuff, he has to keep taking his car back and forth to the mechanic because his car keeps breaking down and keep having issues. The issues that he's telling me is things that looks like that he's being protected by God. His lug nuts and stuff like that. I said, how is it that your lug nuts is just falling off and you keep taking that car back and forth? I said, I could tell you why because I'm psychic. I could tell you why. That your car is messing up. Because they have a insurance policy out on you that they're trying to cash in on. Child services isn't answering. DA never got back. I walked in them offices. Family court. If I could physically get into somewhere else, that's what I'd rather do. Nobody did nothing. Now their phones aren't working. After I done said something. So they're being gang stalked too. My middle son, he's been having to he had to move to a different school, and I know why, because I already seen it happening before it happened. Matter of fact, before his car accident, I was just got off the phone with him, and I tried to call him back because I seen him getting in an accident. My youngest son, I keep asking my middle child, about my youngest son. He keeps telling me that he's over at friends' houses.
I thought you said you was unable to get in contact with him.
This is prior to that happening. The last time we were able to speak was the week of Christmas. I think I tried to call him New Year's Day. I think that might have been the last time we talked. It was just the week of Christmas he had the car accident.
So how do you not know where they are if you talk to them?
Because they're not saying exactly where they are. 736 Merchant Street is the address where his mom has always lived at. That's what they're stating that they've been at. My older son, he tells me Coast Street is where he's at, but he doesn't give me the number where he's at, and it's like he is afraid to say exactly where he's at. So that's why I had called Child Services in the first place. So when Child Services went over there in 23, when they went over there, 2023, when I had called August 8th, I believe it was, August 8th, 9th. Yeah, because I was calling that whole week. August 8th, when I had called over there, they did a wellness check. They said, well, Miss Smith, all we could do is a wellness check. They did a wellness check, and what they said is that the lights, it was dark in there, so they couldn't really see what was going on, and they left it like that and never got back to me about anything. I kept calling, emailing, and everything, and nobody has answered not one thing about nothing. Any answers or try to get my kids back to North Carolina. He crossed state lines. I seen that happening before it happened, so I went to a lawyer. That was January of 2021. Yeah, I think it was, or 2020. No. January 2021. I seen it happening before it happened. I went to go see a lawyer, but I didn't have enough money for a retainer. But he said that, they legally shouldn't be able to do that. Because North Carolina is a mother state, and that, and he had owed in arrears. I had took all my paperwork of everything that I take care of and what he was taking care of, which was nothing. So they said, there's too much here that he can't legally take your kids. And he did it. And clearly it must have been illegally how he did it, because they have, like I said, they know people in or certain organizations where they're allowed to do things like that. My last day at Restoration House was already feeling, I don't know what it was, after breakfast, eating breakfast there or whatever. Ended up going to the emergency room yesterday. I waited to see if it would wear off or whatever the heck it was. But I felt sick after breakfast. Mind you, before I had went to bed that night, I was feeling like a little dizzy or whatever. I usually take my sheets off of my bed because for some reason, at all these shelters, I would be out all day and be fine. But sit on the bed or be in an area or wherever, like in the bathroom or whatever, which conveniently wouldn't have nobody in there at the time, And I would start feeling itchy, like a burning feeling on my skin. And I would have like a track marks on my skin. I have pictures of that too. And every time I go to these ERs, I ask them if they could do like a whole workup, drug everything workup. And nobody did nothing. But they do regular labs. I'm vegan. I don't even take medicine, let alone be doing no drugs or even having sex. Because of what I'm going through now with this baby daddy thing. Thank God for him is when I went celibate. It would have been longer than that if I ain't let him come moving back down North Carolina with us. We even moved to get away from him. And here, him and family up there trying to move down there with us. And now look. That gave him an open invitation to take our kids when we should have just moved and just disconnected completely. These people I was paying, you know how much money I was paying for childcare and stuff like that? I'm a nurse. I wasn't getting no help. Struggle. No Section 8. No food stamps. All that stuff came cash out of pocket. And people think they can come down and take the kids. You want to give a measly $50 a week. Or pay whenever you wanted to. And I was still being kind. The rear should have been way more expensive than that. I had them taking chunks off just to try to work out some kind of way. It's crazy. My son, my older son, I have 4 altogether, but my oldest, he didn't like North Carolina. He don't like structure. He wanted to do whatever he wanted to do, so he decided to stay up Pennsylvania. But my middle child, he always went to school. He had no problems like getting up for school, even if I like was working doubles or whatever, or overslept or whatever. I'd look and be like, oh shoot, let me go get Vern. And here Vern already be up. He done already woke the boys up for me. He get up Pennsylvania here. I don't even think that I don't even honestly think that he graduated. Like, I think he was just put through to make it look like something. That he stopped going to school and stuff like that. Like, things started happening while they were up there where I knew things were happening. But I wasn't surprised. It was why I just cut them people out of our lives in the first place. I've been telling him since he's been up there to go to the Votech. Go to the Votech, because he liked mechanics and stuff like that. Go to the Votech. Now he got problems with his car from people up there doing stuff to his car, which I'm not surprised because it was stuff that I was going through. Even when we would go up to visit, I would mysteriously have things happening to my car. We wasn't around them, we were fine. My youngest crying, having night terrors and stuff like that. Stuff that he was not having when he was home. And when he was, I started doing things to make sure that he wasn't having nightmares. Bay leaves and stuff like that, protection around his bed and stuff, because people were doing things, which I'm starting to really get a wrap around it, about things now. My boy was crying hysterically about coming back home. And nobody did nothing. His pictures, even the DA said that he don't look like he's okay. Family court, yeah, no, he don't look like he's okay. Child services even have pictures. Emailed it to him and text him. Various different people in there, and nobody answered back about nothing, did nothing. So I said I'll start working and stuff to, be able to get back up there. I always had my own car. I always had my own home. I always had my responsibilities taken care of. Always. Took care of my kids without no help. Always. Shoot, I still got my first driver's license from when I first got to North Carolina. Can I use the bathroom?
Yes, ma'am.